exactly.
That sounded
Not exactly like you don't do anything exactly.
Oh,
But more like,
can somebody give it to her
exactly
pussy, please?
do you do?
They hide their eyes and can't describe what they've been missing. They fire blind and can't describe what they've been laying down. They laying down. They hide their eyes and can't describe what they've been missing. They fire blind
You're inside,
and
you're
can't
inside.
describe
Just shoot.
what they've been
Just shoot in there.
They laying down.
Got him.
Afternoon, everybody. This is Anthony from Amped Airsoft, and I got Matt, and this is Ask Amped episode whatever 33. Yeah, I got it right for once. Anyways, this is a question and answer show where you submit your questions down below in the comment section below the doobly-doo, and we answer them. You can also put them up on Facebook, where we'll post this video as well. We try to be honest, and that's about it, really. Pretty easy peasy.
Pretty straightforward.
Last week's was a little late. Now we're back on schedule, so YOLO. There we go. All right. So I got a little combo platter here. First one's from Zachary Trone. If you could Daytona gun any gun, what would it be? I love the Daytona gun Classic Army FAL. You'd be able to use the bolt the way it should, slamming like the real deal. Hashtag no regrets. Hashtag how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck D's nuts?
Aw.
I like things that take M4 mags, because that's what all my gear is.
There's a
Is that
dude.
pretty lame? I think it's pretty lame, but that's what I want.
There's a dude that just Daytona gunned his LCT AK that's going around on like Instagram right now. And that thing is just sexy looking.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Besides,
nice.
if it wasn't an M4 variant, I would probably do like one of the AKs. I think that'd be fun.
The SCAR or the ACR.
The SCAR, yeah.
I heard the ACR is the easy one to do. Easy for Daytona gun standards,
Dude
I
from
guess.
Fart is just falling apart. The damn recoil's knocking all the rails and stuff loose on it.
Kenji Airsoft. Hello, Ampedy Amp. I remember y'all from Rev 5. Y'all just walked up and asked me if I was using y'all line, and you gave me a patch, and I never saw y'all again. But my question is it possible to Daytona a Vector? No. No. That's it. No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mad
Sorry, main.
custom job.
Sorry, main. Ain't a deal. Ain't a deal.
This one's from Nuclear Airsofters. Dear Amped, how do you counteract Joule creep? Also, can different nozzles on the Fusion engine cause more or less Joule creep? And when will your Pleb to Pro video on Joules be coming out? In a previous video, you said that the Tippmann was very efficient. I was wondering how this could be because it runs off of 800 and 900 PSI. Thanks and keep up the good work. And just in response to Nuclear Airsofter, Cummins Turbo 98 said he responded, from his opinion, low flow poppets will decrease the effects of Joule creep, and his testing it has.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll take this one. So we'll start from the top.
Do the Tippmann first. That's probably easier.
So the Tippmann, it is very efficient. Okay. Yes, it runs. Okay. You look at it like this. The Tippmann runs at 800 to 900 PSI, while your average Fusion engine, most of them run around 120 max. Why is a Tippmann more efficient than a Fusion engine? Because it's not the amount of air pressure that it takes to operate the system, it's the amount of air volume that the system uses per shot. The Tippmann uses much less volume of air per shot than the Fusion engine does. The Fusion engine uses a lot more air because it cycles a poppet and a nozzle off of one regulated air system. So, for a Fusion engine, it only takes 40 PSI to overcome the power of the spring that's on the nozzle and make the nozzle cycle. So there's a different amount of pressure that overcomes the spring for the poppet. And then there's the output pressure, or the pressure that you want to hit the BB worth of air. So if you say set your regulator to 120, let's just use the nozzle, because I don't remember the poppet one off the top of my head, but let's just use the nozzle. 40 psi. You set your gun to 120 psi, that's 80 psi worth of air that's wasted per shot just cycling the nozzle. So the Tippmann is much more efficient than a fusion engine, even though it runs at 800 to 900 psi. Actually, the Tippmann will run up to 1100. If you want to get technical, it'll run off of an SHP head tank instead of just a standard tank, and it'll run off of 1100.
And apparently they cycle much better.
They cycle much better, and they run
pressure.
better at a higher pressure. Though, do that at your own risk, because it's not recommended in your owner's manual. So just be prepared. If you break it faster, your B.
Sorry.
Sorry. Now, Joule creep. How do you counteract Joule creep? Joule creep is not something that you can control necessarily. It's a natural phenomenon. So, it's usually used as a blanket term to describe all kinds of goofy things that basically people have problems describing. Like, that's the thing. So, Joule creep isn't one set thing. It's a host of things that all add up to one phenomenon. And what it is that as you put heavier and heavier weight BBs in your air gun, your joules will increase and increase and increase, and your FPS will only go down marginally. So a lot of people like to use AEGs as the shining example where they don't have joule creep. False. AEGs do have joule creep.
Not as noticeable.
Not as noticeable, and it has a curve to it. So as you go up in weight and BB, the joules creep and creep and creep. Then they hit a point where the maximum amount of air that's being cycled through the system, because it uses a piston system to cycle air, the weight of the BV overcomes the amount of air that the AEG can cycle, and then the joules start to drop again. On an HPA system, on the other hand, since it's just using direct air that's under pressure, as you go up in BBs, the joules that your gun outputs goes up because the FPS isn't dropping at a curve like an AEG does. So what ends up happening is that, like, people run heavier weight. Let's say they go chrono with a 2. Oh, they chronoed legal. Then they go chrono with then they go play with like a 4, and like they're like putting them into people.
Yeah, like their FPS is still field legal, but their rounds are hitting twice the joules.
Twice the joules.
So that's how they sneak around places, especially novice fields where they only check FPS and not joules.
Every gun.
He could even chrono his 4, and it would be going like stupid slow. Be like, oh, you're shooting way under. True, but his BB is hitting with way more.
You're not accounting.
impact.
You're not accounting for the energy that the BB is impacting with.
Yeah.
The big cause of joule creep is inertia. Basically, what it is that the more mass that an object has, we equate it in like layman's terms to matter. That's how much stuff is in your BB. So like a 0.2 gram has half as much stuff in it as a 0.4 gram. So what happens is the heavier BBs, it takes more energy to make them move. So conversely, that also means it takes more energy to slow them down, which means they do not suffer negative accelerations as easily as lighter weight BBs do, which means they hit with more force because they aren't as affected by outside stimulus like a lightweight BB will be. So it's a whole big long thing. The first thing that we're going to do when we go to do the joule thing is we're going to go through it and basically explain all of the terminology that we're going to use, and then we're going to go through in the second video and actually explain everything that causes the phenomenon that's collectively known as joule creep.
Yeah.
And then we're going to post some numbers, and we're going to show you that it happens in AEGs too. Everybody should chrono in joules. You chrono with a 2 and then you walk out on the field with a 3 with your AEG, you're shooting hot.
Yep.
It's that simple. Like you're hurting. You could potentially hurt somebody.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through and we're gonna explain it all. And the problem is we just haven't had fucking time. We just haven't been here. We go to a NADOP every other weekend, and if we leave on a Wednesday and we get back on a Wednesday, that's an entire week of time. We have work like 3 or 4 days, and then we work for another like 3 days, and then we leave again. So we just haven't had time to do it. Between building the website and putting all the product on the website, we've got a whole bunch of swanky new stuff on the website. You should probably check it out.
Yeah, that's had your head through the monitor the past 2 weeks.
We got Haley products now, all kinds of cool stuff.
A lot of good stuff on. All the Russian stuff is live. For
All
all
the
you guys
Russian-
that haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, all the Russian stuff is up now. I don't know what any of it means, and frankly,
I just know there's one called Berserker.
Yeah, there's one called like Berserker and like Islam, and it makes me smile.
I just know the camo's ugly, and I kind of.
Now, low flow poppets, will they decrease the effects of Joule creep? Negative. Okay, so what affects Joule creep literally is just chronoing with your weight BB and understanding where you need to run your gun to be field safe. There's no mechanical piece that will affect Joule creep other than, like, if you have a Polar Star, your regulator, or if you have an AEG, your spring. That's it. Your spring and your air seal system, like your piston and all that stuff. Like, that's what affects your Joule creep. There is no magic piece. Like, if you're... You have to understand that, like, for you to know exactly what joules your gun shoots, you need to chrono with your weight BB. If you use our BBs, I went ahead and did a Joule chart on the back of the bag for you, so you don't even have to do any math if you don't want to. And you can actually see how hard your gun is shooting and then adjust it from there.
Literally all of us, like, I cut that chart out of a bag of BBs once I used it, and it's always in my loadout bag or in one of my rifle places.
So,
it's
like,
one of the most useful. Even if you don't like our BBs, buy a bag, because that chart is probably the most useful thing we have on them.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Other than the reusable bag, which is pretty nice too.
You can turn it into a water bottle.
You can turn
wash
it into
out.
It's
a water
food
bottle.
safe if you wash it out. So, like, it's a common misconception. Now, what you are doing when you use different parts, like, say, a wide bore or a poppet, is you're decreasing the amount of air that's pushing against the BB. So, in that, in turn, lowers your joules because it's not exerting as much energy behind the BB. That's why when you use a tight bore, or a wide, or a, like, high output nozzle, your joules skyrocket. And that's because you're putting more force into moving the BB down your gun. So there's no magic piece that will solve it. There's no way to, like, so it's just...
The easiest way to counteract your joules is for you to personally make sure your setup is running below
your field.
Below field limits for wherever you're playing. You test it, you check, everybody posts their stuff online, call the field, like, if it's a smaller field or if it's not a big game, call the field, see what their exact joule limits are.
Well, here's an easy thing. If they say that they chrono at 400 FPS with a 2, that's about 1.48, 1.5 joules. So what you should be doing is chronoing your gun, using the joule chart, or using your joule calculations, figuring out what you are chronoing, and then go up or down from there. You should be shooting for, with your weight BB, 1.5 joules, and then it's equivalent.
Yeah. And you always want another thing to help speed the process of, like, chronoing everything up. You do always want to make sure you're a little below. Like, we all run our systems that way, but another thing is chronos they're always different.
A little off.
And it always happens to be the one you test on chronos you lower than the field when you go to. Like, almost every time we chrono ours at the shop, every time we go, and then we'll go chrono at the field, and it's like 10 FPS more. Little things like that.
We usually chrono about 0.2 joules lower than whatever the limit is.
Yeah, minimum.
Mainly just because I don't want to start an argument with somebody.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Unless it's the Tipman, and we usually just kind of leave that at like 1.1.
Well, the Tipman's running at 1.4 right now. It's running at 1.4 with a 3. So your joules will go down if you use a 2.5 or a 2, but right now it's chronoing at 1.5 with a 3. Yeah. That's what I have it set for. So if you put a 3.2 in it, it might go. I gave it enough wiggle room because we don't feel like opening it up constantly. I gave it enough wiggle room to where if you put a 3.2 in it or something, the joules will go up, but you'll still have enough wiggle room to not pass the field limit for like 90% of places we go.
Yeah.
So.
See you, Julio.
But yeah, like, it's a big, long subject. It takes a lot of explaining, and I probably butchered at least a part of it explaining it right here, because in all honesty, it's very complex, and it's very hard to put into like really easy to digest like shit. It's because some people, they just don't teach it at like schools and stuff. They just don't teach like joules and energy, and some kids just don't go to physics classes, and it's hard, and it's really hard to like, oh Jesus, it's really hard to like bring it to a point where it's both understandable for people who don't know anything about what we're talking about, and yet also informative for people who do have an idea or might think they know already, and they might learn something new. It's very hard to actually like lay it all out.
Yeah.
That's why I have a big whole like notebook for this video coming up about like what, like everything, like just laying it all out, and then we're gonna do some like cool little like stupid animations that like show stuff, and we're gonna explain things.
Yeah.
And we're also gonna explain why the projectile that you're shooting matters when it comes to pain and stuff like that. Like it's gonna be a very big, in-depth kind of thing. So it's just be prepared for it. This is another combo platter. This one's all about gear. This is from Impulse Airsoft. What plate carrier do you guys use, and what mag pouches? Also, what helmet cover does Anthony use? All right, so plate carrier. I either use an Eagle Industries low vis plate carrier, which is a slick, or I use a Mayflower APC. You use?
I use my LBT 6094. I think that's the only one I have right now.
Yeah,
that's my main one. That's my
typically
bread and
though. Lately, I've been running chest rigs on everything. So if I'm gonna go play, I take my slick carrier, then I run a chest rig over it, just for comfort's sake. But that's what I typically do. What mag pouches? On my APC, I use Bomber mag pouches from Patrol Incident Gear, and so does this guy. He uses the exact same pouches I do.
I love those pouches. They still look like the day I took them out of the packaging because they're not made of the regular
they're
material.
not made
of the webbing material that your Molly's made of. The entire pouch is made of that, so they are
we
rock
have the
solid.
same stuff.
I also run, just got it when we did our little surplus hunt. I got Paraclete, three mag shingle, and like OG Ranger green, sage green, smoke green. I'm excited about that. You run SDS, a lot of OG like Eagle stuff.
I run a lot of OG Eagle stuff, a lot of SDS Paraclete stuff. I run a lot of I run Haley. I run a Haley D3CR. I run. I have a lot of chest rigs.
Yeah.
I have a lot of chest rigs, actually.
I'm excited about that.
I'm about ready to start selling them all, or a lot of them, because I need to fund some new projects.
We should have an Amped Airsoft flea market
day.
Flea
market day. Like, come see me. I got some stuff for sale. And what helmet cover? Literally, it's just camo netting cut and stuck on my head. Like, it's
spray paint camo netting.
That's all it is. Everybody asks us, like, it's like some kind of special thing they can go buy.
We should just start saying it's like the first Spear Ranger helmet cover.
I should make something up. I should call it like
$80 for.
I should charge people
$80 from Cry.
I should charge people for the 4 cents worth of camo netting that is stuck on my helmet.
We could honestly cut the little like 1.5 squares and sell them online.
Sell them online for
$30
for like at least $10. Like, it's selling for at least $10 and like make money. It's like 30 cents worth of camo netting that I just...
It's literally car or like tent camo netting at a surplus store. Go buy a shit ton of it.
Yeah, it's military issue stuff. Basically what happened was when I was overseas, I used to do that when I was in Iraq. It was just something that we did so we could see each other. And we saw some other cool guys doing it, so we thought it'd be hilarious to do. And so we did it, and, it's just a holdover from that. That's all it is. It's nothing special.
It is.
Apparently it is. AFK Gaming. Hey, I'm going on a Boy Scout trip, and I need pants that are designed to dry very fast after getting wet. Same for a top. Are the clothes that you carry designed to do that? I want to kill 2 birds by buying
the design
needed for a Milsim. Love the vids, and don't forget to mess up for the lulz. Okay, so what would I suggest? I would suggest going online to like rei.com or a suitable outdoor, like for backpacking and stuff like that, and you're gonna want to get like Columbia or REI brand lightweight hiking pants. They're like made of swishy material, kind of like a windbreaker. They keep you mostly dry, but then when they do get soaked, they dry very quick, and they're very light and comfortable. I have a bunch of pairs of those for when I go backpacking, because I do more things than BB Wars, surprisingly.
We do somehow have lives. I would recommend, if you want to drop the cash and you do want something a little more military, maybe look at like 511.
The 511 pants. Yeah, those are good.
They're summer or like light series. I forget the exact name. I have a pair of those, and they actually have the like the finish on them where like the water beads and falls off. Again, that'll wear off after you wash them a bunch of times and get them dirty and all that. But those are very nice. They're very, very lightweight. So if you're not wearing them,
Richie wears.
Yeah, they roll up and they store away really well.
If you want to spend it, but like my thing is, you could go to REI and get like actual backpacking pants.
Yeah, exactly.
In military style colors for half the price.
because a lot of stuff, if you're going to get in camo, you're going to be looking at Gore-Tex, and that's going to be pricey, and it doesn't breathe very well, so Gore-Tex heats up very quickly.
All right, so this one's from Simplex.
Simplex.
That's an interesting way to spell that, by the
Yeah.
way. Honest opinion on the LBX mini-map and 0300, and when are they coming out so we can buy them? They should be coming out soon. I'm going to be real honest with you. The 0300 is just LBX's step-down version of the LBT 6094.
Same material, couple
Mostly
different color patterns, just not made in America.
Basically, they take American material, ship it to Peru, stitch it under LBT. LBT's the parent company of it. Stitch it, sell it as LBX brand.
Yeah.
It's not bad stuff by any means. It's just, for
BB Wars,
it's not very compliant if you care about law enforcement type stuff.
Yeah.
Law enforcement and military type stuff. And the mini map. Now, here's the big problem with this question is that they haven't come to us yet as pre-production samples because we're not airsoft famous enough.
Bo, send us stuff, please.
Sucks to suck, I guess. So I've seen them on other cooler players than me. But in all honesty,
no such thing.
I am getting a Haley flat pack, so the mini map does not really register on my radar at all.
Yeah, we'll obviously, if we do get a good batch of them in, we'll test them, we'll
test
review
them, we'll beat one up.
we'll
but
run them.
I mean, me personally, I'm not gonna buy one. So even if I wouldn't buy one. That's just me. I'm sure it'd be fine though for BB Warsing. I'm sure it would be fine.
Yeah, that's what it's designed for.
Waffleman Media. I think I may actually do a standard infantryman loadout. I have a surplus woodland Marpat BDU. What kind of plate carrier vest would be realistic to what a Marine would use? Marines, here's the thing. They use a lot of Eagle Industries stuff. Mm-hmm. Eagle Industries kind of died off on the civilian market for purchase direct because they have a lot of military contracts, and they're just making money off of that.
Yeah,
they don't really
they're good.
They don't care about us civilians anymore. You
could find the surplus stuff.
You could go find the surplus stuff on eBay pretty easy. They use I forget the name of the Eagle Industries plate carrier that they use. It kind of looks like a 6094.
A little. It looks like a weird cross between an
OTV and a 6094 is what it looks like.
I've seen it.
They
I've seen
also
a couple.
a lot of the cooler guys do use a lot of LBT products, especially Marsoc. They use actual woodland.
Yeah, more like Marsoc and Spook guys. They buy their own stuff.
They buy their own stuff. They use lots of LBT stuff.
I've seen a couple. There's one that looks like the Banshee. I've seen a couple guys use too. It looks vaguely familiar to that. I forget what it was called.
Then usually the U.S. Army, we use the IOTV and the OTV, the original OTV. That's what a lot of guys use. But mostly IOTV and 6094s and RAVs and there's a couple other weird plate carriers floating in there. Mm-hmm. Spook guys like to use JPCs, 6094s. A lot of chest rigs and slick carriers. That's a big thing in the Special Forces guys is that they like to use slicks, and then wear chest rigs. Yeah, just because it's
when they go in the real Spook stuff, they can just take the body armor off and wear their chest rig and not have all the weight.
So, but yeah, you can. I'm not a Marine, so. Your best bet would be to go on them Googles.
Yep.
Or if you can stomach it, go to one of those gear-oriented Facebook groups and try to deal with the trolling and just ask some honest questions. Yeah. But you can just do a Google image search.
You just look up standard Marine infantry
pick
loadout.
a year. Pick a year. Just go 2007 Marine infantry and then just go Google search and then images and then you'll see what you need and then you can just go on eBay.
The good thing about Marines is they get issued 2 camos, but their gears
all
their gear is coyote across the board, so it matches better for the most part.
For the most part, so be nice and easy.
Yeah.
Ryan, no last name given. Yo, love the show. My question for you guys, and apologies as this has been asked before, but what is your opinion on kilts and airsoft? I personally own several more tactical kilts, Mountain Hardware, El Commando, and my team has all worn them. Some smaller scenario style games, think Airsoft GI games, but I'm also wondering if they would be appropriate for larger op style games such as Lion Claws or American Milsim, as you can get kilts in OD, TAN, and even multicam in some places. Also, would you guys ever consider wearing kilts while playing? Thanks for answering. Hashtag balls too big for trousers. Thanks. All right, so a lot of the Line Claws guys actually wear kilts when they are at the event.
The staff guys.
A lot of the staff guys do. It's like their thing that they do. I haven't seen anybody do it in American Milsim, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone did.
Yeah.
Would I wear a kilt? No. Just straight up no. And it has to do with going spooky in the bushes and trouncing around in the woods, and in the places we played at, they have a lot of really dangerous stuff.
It's the same reason, like, when people see us on, like, Friday before the game starts and we're wearing, like,
Jeans
t-shirt
and a
and
t-shirt.
jeans. Everybody's
We
like,
don't gear up.
how do you wear jeans? And, like, it's just ticks, bugs,
Iron,
poison, like, all the crap. Like, we
glass,
have boots
metal,
and jeans.
cement, asbestos,
It's
boots and jeans all the time, man. You got to protect yourself from.
Same reason we don't wear shorts during games. I mean, I'll give kilts one thing. I'm sure there's awesome airflow.
Yeah, I'm sure it's comfy.
Yeah.
But my thing is I don't want to go kneeling in a bush and then have a bunch of creepy crawlies get all up in my nethers, twixt them and twixt my nethers,
Come home with you.
get up all in there. But yeah, I've seen guys at Line Claws events especially using them. So, I mean, that's like the staff guys' thing. So, you might be stepping on their toes. You might be harsh in their vibe. Just letting you know. Jens Fubar.
Aw.
Dear Amp, what are your thoughts on the LBT 6094A? If I'm going to spend this much, I need to know. P.S. Keep up the good work. PSS. I see you at Redstorm. PSSS. My friend has 2 Sistema Magnum motors, just so you know. He won't sell them to me, so I'm sad.
I'd be sad, too.
Hashtag operate, hashtag cry or die.
Tell your friend he could pay for, like, his first semester of college if he sold both of those.
Probably, man. People want them things bad.
I want those things.
Okay, so you own a 6094. What do you think of your play carrier?
I personally love
You've
mine.
used it. How long have you had it?
I've had it for over a year now.
You've had it for over a year. Now, have you had any thoughts of selling it or getting rid of it?
No.
Okay.
My thing is when
What are your major gripes about it?
Well, I'm just going to start from the top. When I buy something like that, my main reason is I did a lot of research on that. I talked to people about it. And when you drop that amount of money on something, that's something you want to wear and keep for a long time. So I plan on running that for quite a while until, like, something new really comes out and grabs my attention.
Yeah.
Personally, I really do. I like it. I also, keynote of mine, I got mine for 50% off because I waited for one of LBT sales.
Smart.
So do that. There might even be one tomorrow for July 4th. I think they already announced some sort of sale. LBT does really awesome, just ridiculous sales all the time.
Just randomly, too.
Yeah.
Just like out of nowhere, like, oh, it's Flag Day. It's like 50% off. Whee!
Yeah.
Like, they
so
just do stupid things
keep
like
an
that.
eye on their website and don't, honestly, we all talk about this all the time. The LBT is an awesome plate carrier. It's not worth the $430 they still ask for it brand new.
No, I don't think so.
The $220 I paid for it,
Worth it.
that's worth it. It's because it's brand new from them, still has manufacturer warranty. If I break that thing, I can send it to them. They'll replace it or fix it. So if you wait for the sale, awesome.
So that's the LBT. Let's think of some comparable competition to the LBT 6094. You have the Mayflower APC, which is what I own. Retails around $250. Comes with Quasm clips so that you can bolt chest rigs to it, so you don't, because Mayflower has a huge line of chest rigs.
Yeah.
And they make all their stuff standard so that you can bolt it to plate carriers. Just like the Haley, which is why I got my Mayflower APC originally. I have mine in Ranger Green. It's not as padded as the 6094, but it's also not as big.
Yeah.
It's a little bit smaller, and it's a little bit lower profile.
Yeah, the back panel on the
it's a lot-
6094 is pretty big.
It's a lot lighter, too.
I'm about as small as you can get to wear a 6094A.
Yeah.
Any smaller than me, and you're gonna have fitment issues and stuff. Mine's pretty much cinched down all the way. And the only other thing is a lot of people have issues with the shoulder pads.
Yeah, I don't like
I
them.
can see when they're brand new. I can see that, but mine have been broken in. I love mine. So that's just me.
The thing with the Mayflower is that the shoulder pads on it suck, so if you buy the HSGI ones for like $20, you're good.
Yeah.
I really like my Mayflower. I think it fits a lot better than any of the LBTs I've ever tried on for myself personally. I think it fits a lot better. And it's very comfortable. What's some other comparable?
If you got that fat stacks of cash, you can get CPC.
Well, you could get a CPC or
JPC.
not the JPC. You get the CPC or the
Faro Concepts
the AVS if you have a lot of money.
Yeah, I'd say
you
the
could
Faro
get the
Concepts.
Faro Concepts.
FCPC.
FCPC is very good. You could get the and here's the thing is that all of those so far, well, see here, the APC and the Faro are both cheaper than the LBT.
The Faro just barely, but
Just
the Faro's
barely.
much newer too.
Mhm.
The 1694 has been around for how long?
We're pushing
Probably pushing a decade.
We're getting
almost.
close. We're on the better half of a decade.
Yeah.
And then you could also go do, if you go look around, you could do the Eagle quick release plate carriers that have the Quasm clips on them as well. They're like a lot like an APC actually, that's actually as expensive as the LBT. So there's a lot of options out there that are very, very similar to it. If you're hurting for cash, dude, get the APC.
The Banshee too.
Oh, you can do the Banshee, but I don't like the Banshee very much.
I'm not a fan of it, but I see a lot of guys run
I've
it.
owned
It's
one,
pretty,
too.
It's pretty comparable.
I
It has
liked it
plenty
at
of molly.
first. I really did. I liked it at first, but then what happened was as I wore it, like all of its shortcomings became very apparent to me, and I was like, ugh, and I couldn't hang anymore. So that is what it is, though. That's a lot of gear questions.
Yeah. You like gear questions.
I like gear questions.
We like gear a lot. Owen Lusk. Sup, Amp? Keep up the great work. What's all the hype about this Crytek stuff? I don't see it, but anyway, I think we should push all of our hype towards the new G&G lineup like the Lightning Hawk. Hashtag Crytek is okay. G&G is okayer. River City Airsoft and hashtag Mad Bull Blue is better than Promi Purple. Ooh, I've never used the Mad Bull. We'll have to get those.
I don't like it. Sorry, man. I'm gonna disagree with you straight right there. I don't.
You
I don't
guys,
like
you guys
it.
can handle that later. Like the new G&G stuff is awesome. We get a lot of first looks at a lot of it because our boy John, will bring new models by, and some of the new stuff they have come out is awesome and it is solid. Do we have our Lightning Hawk yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. I'm actually looking forward to seeing
It's a dual sector gear. I don't do ADGs, man. So
Yeah.
like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to seeing what a production model DSG can do. You know,
I'm thinking
how long
about
it's
30
gonna
to 40
last.
rounds a second, but I don't know how long it would last.
That's what I'm
but-
saying is how long it'll last and all that stuff. Crytek, we just love because 95% of the time we don't see issues with them. We always ask customers when they buy the games.
I'm gonna blow you away. Are you
Yeah.
ready? We have sold dozens and dozens and dozens of them by now. We have never had one come back.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking really hard on that.
I personally have not seen any of them ever come back. I just built one into a Polar Star Jack.
Yeah.
And I'm keeping all the stock hop up and barrel in it, and the thing shoots retarded. Like, it shoots great. I have never seen one come back. Their externals are very nice. The internals for AEGs are incredibly solid and hard to break. The only one that I have ever seen break was our old tech, Matt Johnson's.
Yeah.
And that was because he was beating the ever-loving shit out of it on purpose.
He was trying to break it.
He was trying to break it. It took him 150,000 rounds in 3 games.
An 11-1, 130C dump battery, like 3 games to do anything.
130C dump. That's ridiculous. Average lipos are only 30.
20.
Yeah, like 30C, like is your average airsoft lipo.
I wouldn't necessarily push all the hype towards G&G, but G&G has always been good. I've never really seen anything I hate from them.
No.
We don't necessarily touch or dabble into their high-end stuff a lot because as soon as you get there, a lot of guys when they upgrade, they jump ship. They don't necessarily stay with the same company. They jump to VFC or Echo or Crytek because it's just kind of the general thing. Like when you get a Ford Focus, your next logical step is not, a Ford Taurus or something. You maybe jump ship to
My big thing about
like a Honda or something.
My big thing about the G&G higher end line is that their fit and finish externally is not as good as the other companies. So
most guys I don't think come close to GMP still. Crytek is pretty up there, but most
Crytek's are really
GMP
gorgeous.
externals are
GMP,
still
VFC are
they're
still,
hard to touch.
They're hard to stuff. Which Crytek, fun fact, some of the externals we think are OEM'd by the same company that does VFC's externals. Some of them.
Maybe.
It's very, very there's
We'd
so
like to figure that
there's
out.
so many similarities that it's hard to say they don't.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. AEG problems. Mr. Rampage. Hey, Amp, love the show. I got a question. Do you guys sell an adapter for an ENL AKS-74U so I can put a 14mm Mox on it? I can't seem to find them anywhere. Greetings from the Netherlands. We have AK adapters. We've had them before.
Banana adapters.
I don't care.
Does he want the potato or the?
No, well, that's not that. Those are just threaded standard. He needs something that goes on the end of his threading, because the ENLs have a more realistic large diameter thread.
Oh, don't those run
that's
16? Oh, okay.
And Airsofts are all 14.
Can he get? Does the GMP adapter do that, or is that only 14?
They
I can't remember.
They make one. I think we've had one from Hephaestus before, I think is the company.
I know
name.
we can get an adapter.
We've had them before.
Yeah.
They exist. So I'd have
They're
to
out
look at the
there.
site. Sirius 9576. Hey, my friend used to have a combat machine. It recently broke, so he was wanting to get a high-end gun. He said he doesn't want a Crytek because that's what I run with, because he thinks he will be stealing my vibe. What gun do you guys recommend? Thanks. Keep up the vid. But get a Crytek. Who cares if he's stealing your vibe? If the gun works, it works, man. It's an M4. He can change the rail out and make it look different. He can change the stock, the pistol grip.
You guys can trade parts and mags.
Trade parts and mags. Like, just tell him to get a Crytek, man.
If he's really that set against it, look at like a platinum.
Get an Echo 1 Platinum,
get
which is a VFC.
Yeah.
Get a VFC gun. Get a GMP gun. Those are all really solid choices.
Yeah. Pretty much all of them, besides G&G, all the higher ends come with the rotary hop-up now instead of the linear.
The GMPs do not. They come with
GMP
the
still
old,
don't?
They still
Okay.
come with their linear old school
So if you
hop-up.
got GMP, I'll just throw a pro in it. You're good.
I mean, that's what I would do. Just get a Crytek. Man, I just built one. They're fucking cool. It shoots stupid.
You're not allowed to say that in an AEG pack.
I just built one.
It was cool until I ripped the gearbox apart.
Hey, but you know what? It's all the same hop-up material.
Yeah.
It's all stock. Like, I didn't put an upgrade hop-up in it. I didn't put a new barrel in it. I didn't put a new bucking or a new nub in it. I left it all stock.
What is the Crytek's with? 605?
It's a 605 barrel, yeah.
Okay.
So it's, not perfect quality barrel, but it fucking shoots well. Caffeinated 3, what's a solution to my AEG firing full auto on semi? My motor is also whining a lot, which I believe is a motor height's fault. That's probably true.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking to upgrade my $160 gun because I'm sensing some impending doom with it. I was going to get an SHS high torque motor and an SHS high speed gear set with a flat hop. By the way, it's an AK, winks at Stu. Any other parts that you guys would put in it?
Well, Stu winks back at you with a bottle of cognac in his hand right
From
now.
Russia.
Speaking Russian.
He's in Russia right now.
I think he already is expecting the impending doom.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. AEGs, man, they wear out. Mechanical parts wear out.
They will break.
They will break. That's. Here's what I would do if I were you. If it's shooting full auto on semi, you're having problems with your latch, your latch system that makes it so that you only cycle once on semi-auto. So that's something you're going to need to look at. Otherwise, I wouldn't get any parts until something completely breaks, and then just replace what breaks.
Yeah.
That's what I would do personally.
Because once you start dabbling in the world of like SHS and dropping all that stuff in there, you gotta really start fine-tuning the gearbox.
Yeah, I would just...
And you're gonna be doing some mad science then.
Yeah, and if you're not prepared for it, gearbox work... I used to do gearbox work, so it's kind of stupid.
Still scares me. Every time I open one,
Basically,
I trash it.
the reason I got... The day I stopped doing gearbox work was the day I just got frustrated with it and said, Polar Star, and then YOLO, don't have to do it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it. I would just roll it until it breaks and then fix what's broken.
That's what we recommend.
That's the easiest thing.
AEGs.
That's what I recommend personally. Yeah, 5 Minute Frenzy, we're doing it. Okay. Jake Hill, that tip man with 47 mid caps is like 2 Sundays worth of BBs for me. Cool. Brendan Joyce, the days of working at Amped. Yeah, you used to work here. I don't know why. Whatever. I mean, I don't know why you quit. Strider Spanish Inquisition loadout. Nobody expects it. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's good.
Albert Gomez, how can one simply cream fill a banana? Well, it takes a special banana and a special type of cream, so... And I'm not legally allowed to tell you. Mr. Minecraft Crafter SLP, does the hopes change the FPS? The hop-ups? A little bit. It decreases it when you put a hop on a BB. I hope that's what you're saying, because that was pretty bad. Fart, bang, bang, hey, learn how to drive, you fucking mook. Hey! Oh! The Banana Man first. Hashtag Banana Man. At Banana Man, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Oh man, we got a first battle going on. Oh, that's how you know we made it. That's how you know we made it. Jack24 just saw a V12. Then I bought a Titman M4. Hashtag Titman Master Race. Hashtag Bring Back Banana Pants Guy. Robbie shows up every once in a while. He's got a lot of work to do. He's building custom builds. He's actually building custom AEGs for you guys that don't like HPA stuff. So keep an eye out.
Science.
Ben Kills, what's the rounds per second limit on the Jack? 99. You
Good
can
luck
set it.
feeding that.
Yeah, good luck finding anything that'll feed that, but you can run 99 rounds a second.
Please don't ruin the game for us.
The Programmer 2012, would any of you guys be wanting to play BB Wars in upstate New York? There are some cool fields here, definitely worth checking out. I mean, if we make it out that way. Problem is, everybody wants us to go do stuff, and I don't got time, man. Airsoft Tom, hashtag Anthony is sketch. AK or M... Okay.
That's not nice.
That's not nice at all. AK or M4, currently have an AK, and I'm thinking about jumping to the mainstream M4. Your opinions? I like M4s.
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 AKs are cool, though.
Steam Bryce, hashtag ENL. Fucking meow.
Oh, wait.
Steam Bryce again, hashtag Crytek. Jesus Christ. Merc Steve, woo, got an ass amped. Also, it may interest you to know that some friends and I are trying to get a 90s infantry kit squad together for Broken Home next year. P.S. Fuck that Matt guy. I got some hate. You got some hate. There you go.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Matthew Lerner, just joking with you guys, but seriously, what mags feed best in a pro win? It's so, dude, there's no such thing. It's about fitment in your body. It's not really so much about the physical hop-up itself. Jacob Diego, Polar Star and a minigun, doable. Why? They already shoot like stupid rounds a second anyways. They make miniguns.
Fucking confusing.
Connor Duffy, recently put an SMP into my Crytek CRB and would love to hear your opinions on the hop-up bucking barrel nub setup to maximize range. Thanks in advance. Same thing for Polar Star. Use a tight bore. Pro-In, purple, Namazu flat, R-hop if you want to do it. I've put a jack into one in an SBR recently. It's all stock, still shoots like 250 feet. Or further. I haven't really measured it. I know it's shooting past where our range can shoot. So,
yeah.
Lol. Joe Man, how much would 6 midcaps be? 14 county super flank. You go to the website, man. I don't know. I don't have the prices memorized. I'm sorry.
You want hex mags?
Yeah, those are $15 a pop. There you go. I know that one. Pittsburgh Airsoft 22. Can Yins do a loadout video soon? Keep up the great work. Actually, we are having Stews go up relatively quick.
He's on the cutting table right now.
It's getting put together right now. Nepa Airsoft. Any CO2 adapter? Ant CO2 adapters. Any thoughts on this product? Oh, the one that turns it into an HPA from a CO2 mag?
Yeah, I believe so.
I've not used one, so I don't see why it wouldn't work, but I'd have to see it before I'd
Can't say anything.
Yeah. Jonathan Thomas, can't find the doobly-doo. Plox help.
Apparently you did.
It's down below because you typed in it there, bro.
Oh, he got us.
Har, har, har. 6 Snipes 12. I have a JGM733 and I've converted it into a DMR platform with extended rails and an inner barrel. Why? It's a 733s are cool. All right, whatever.
It's supposed to be a carbine.
I'm thinking about either dropping a Fusion engine in or keep it at AEG and just upgrading internals. Opinions, keep up the good work. Whatever isn't is cost prohibitive to you. Whatever you like more, because at the end of the day, it's opinion.
Yep.
Me personally, I like HPA because I don't like to work on gearboxes. It has nothing to do with their performance. It has to do with how easy they are.
Yep.
Sirius9576, question for Anthony. Anthony, have you ever seen you without something covering your head? Hats and beanies, why is this, and can you please take it off? I'm curious what lies underneath. Is there treasure underneath, and where is the gold? I just buzz my hair, and I like to wear a hat. Sorry, man. That's just nothing special under there. Jake Riley.
What is going on with your life where you're curious about what's under?
Has anyone ever told Anthony he looks like Dylan Francis? I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I guess it's cool.
We'll look it up later and decide.
Yeah, we'll decide. Pat Phoenix. Is this the doobly-doo? Yes, you found the doobly-doo. Yes, you're down there now. Dominique Biara. Hey guys, I think we're done.
Pass it.
We're done. We're done.
One.
I might have went over because I can't really hear it.
Yeah, whatever.
So we're only like 4 left in that pack. So.
Murder spree.
Dominic Biera. Hey guys, when is the Titman going to release the 11.5-inch barrel for the M4? Thanks, love the show. It's out now. Right now.
It's a 10, isn't it?
It's a 10.3.
Yeah.
It's a 10.3.
And then the 20's coming out.
And then there's a
later this year.
16 that they released. It comes with a 14.5, and then they're releasing a 20. So,
that 20's
boom!
gonna be ridiculous.
Make an M16, dude. Make an M16. Get the Mackie. Get the Mackie going.
What do we got? Ooh, more gear. Yay. This has got to do with backpacks. Matthew Lerner, number 1, Pantac map pack on the 6094, question mark. Opinions, please. Any other suggestions for a map? Number 2, by the way, I love the show. Shout out to MGAT Airsoft in Atlanta, Georgia. 3, thoughts on the PTS Mark 18 51T banana. Can it be cream-filled? Negative.
Negative on that one.
Hashtag cream-filled banana.
Negative copy on that, Ghost Rider. Negative copy.
Hashtag moo. Alrighty. The Pantac map on the 6094 is very common.
It's very common. If it works, man.
So that means a lot of dudes run it. If you get the full-size map, you can easily fit a 90-45 in your hydro.
They're plenty big.
Yeah.
They're plenty big for
Plenty of
tanks.
room. You can even get it mini-mapped, and you still have plenty of room. I had mine chopped by Dan upstairs, and I could still easily fit shop tank in my hydro.
Took about that much off of it, didn't he?
He takes a good 3-4 inches off, yeah.
Any
other suggestions?
Other packs. So the Plat Attack Echo Pack is what I have and what Matt has. I'm probably going to sell mine.
Whoa!
Probably going to sell it.
Don't do it.
Probably going to sell it. I don't need it anymore.
Don't do it.
I don't need it anymore.
Can I trade you out for the Gucci cam?
No, because the Gucci cam will sell easier.
Screw you. The Haley.
The Haley Flat Pack will work incredibly well. The Jimmer
Pack.
The Jimmer.
Yep.
The Jimmer Ranger Pack will work really well. That'll fit a 68 though, not a 90 if you're looking for tanks. Just so you guys know.
You can fit a 90, but your regulator's gonna have to hang out.
Or you can put your regulator outside of your pack if you want to do it that way. The Mil-Spec Monkey or Tactical Tailor Adapt Pack will fit. Will bolt pretty well.
Condor's got a couple newer ones that are coming out.
I'm a big fan of also running when you run with chest
What's
rigs
the,
using actual 3-day assault packs.
What's the HSGI one we have?
That
one Kurt runs.
The Sure Grip one that Kurt
Yeah.
runs. That was pretty nice too. It's a little expensive though.
Yeah, it's pricey.
That's a little expensive.
Jason Bolanos, what backpack hydration pack do you think would work great with the JPC? You're probably gonna have to get a mini map or something smaller.
You're gonna have to get a smaller one, so you have to go with the Plat Attack or the.
Even the Plat Attack might be almost too big.
It's the size of a medium plate. It's literally the.
You're gonna hang off though. I bet.
No, the profile of it's the size of a medium plate, but it's a soft skinned bag, so it's gonna sag. A mini map, or the Jimmer mini map, or the Haley Flat Pack, or a modded Pantac map, or Eagle or Allied map, or LBT map.
If you can get it. The LBT is pretty big.
Well, those are all the same thing. They're just the Eagle, Allied, and LBT are all the same thing. They're just made by different companies. You can have those modified to be shorter. The JPC has a very short build, so it's.
Yeah, you have to get a smaller one.
Everything you buy is going to hang off of it, man. It's just, that's the name of the game.
Grizzly 192C, Deer Amp, looking for a good, cheap hydration carrier with extra space on it that attaches to Molly. Recommendations? Thanks, keep up the good work.
Pantac. The Pantac map. Space for
What those go
hydration
for,
and
60?
tank. They go for 67 for solid colors and multicam, and camos are 80, 83, I think. So they're still relatively cheap.
And then, one more. Chips and Dip. Hey, guys. Looking into HPAing one of my guns and also run hydration system. What's the best setup to run both an air and hydro bladder? Thank you.
Pantac map, that's your cheapest, best. That's your best bang for buck cost, unless you want to get into real gear like what I do and what he does. If you want to go into like legit expensive kit, your options open up a little bit, but your wallet, it gets sad.
The thing you have to remember, though, is if you are running a tank and water, you have to balance. You have to fit your plate carrier or whatever you're wearing it on properly, and you have to balance the front, or it's going to sag and it's basically going to choke you. So you basically got a buddy system and get your gear fitted properly, and then you'll be good.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of guys do. They run all that stuff in their back, and then they just run like a Blue Force gear triple up front, and their plate carrier's so unbalanced, and they wonder why they're having shoulder problems at the end of the game.
Shoulder problems and back problems.
Yeah.
All right, this one's from Baron Young. Hey, Amp, love the show, and thanks for answering my PC question a while back. I have a big problem. I live in SoCal. Aw.
That's a problem.
And you may have heard about how some fields have segregated Polar Stars into a separate group. I have a Polar Star GMP M4, and my friends all have AGs and don't want to play against all the other fast HPA setups that all the other guys run. So now, when I go, I'm stuck playing with nobody I know. So here's my new question. Should I buy an AG lower to play with my friends, or buy a whole new AEG My budget is $170, and if I were to buy a lower, what brand gearbox and body should I get? I want a solid gearbox that will be solid and snappy without any upgrades. I already have a 7.4 LiPo. Oh man, so $170 is not a lot to build an entire lower receiver.
You're gonna drop even if you don't buy a full gun, you're gonna drop easily 70 to 100 just on a gearbox.
Just
to
on
get
the
a
shell.
decent one.
Just on the shell. $70 and just the shell.
Well, I'm saying what if you were to get like a VFC? What do we sell ours for?
We sell ours for $75.
Yeah, and then I like where he's trying to go, where he would just get a lower
To match
compatible, and then he could
You'd have to
swap
buy a
his upper.
GMP lower. So if he buys a GMP lower, most
Yeah.
GMP body kits are anywhere from $120 to $170. So that
Well, GMP does sell the singles too.
they sell just the singles. Those are about $100.
Yeah.
So there's all but 70 of your dollars right there.
Yeah, your budget's gonna hurt you on that one.
Now you're probably gonna want furniture, because if you put a gearbox in something, you're gonna need a motor grip to put the motor in. So you're looking at about another 30 some bucks right there for a motor grip.
Minimum stock tube, and then you can swap your stock over.
Stock
if you feel
tube,
like it.
yeah, you're gonna need a stock tube. Usually those are about 25, 30 bucks depending on brand.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you bought one of our new used gearboxes at 75 with a motor, but let's say you bought another option, no motor. You'd still have to buy a motor then too. And then you would be missing you'd still have to go buy a mag release. Because
Some of the
depends on the brand of the body.
yeah.
So if he has a GMP upper, he's going to need to have a GMP matched lower. And the GMPs usually don't come with all the kit if you buy the split halves. If you
Yeah.
buy the entire mated upper and lower, you get all the body parts that go with it. So your $170, man, is going to get eaten up real quick. Real quick. And you're not going to get your performance that you want. That's the
Yeah.
thing, too, is you want like something that will perform great, too. It's just not going to happen for that cost, because then you're going to need to put parts into the gearbox. You're going to have a high-quality motor, good wiring and all that stuff. Like, you're just, good gear sets and things. Like, you're just going to, you're $170 is just,
Yeah.
it's just not going to cover it.
I almost want to say it would be better to wait it out and hopefully the clouds clear and people figure out what the problems are and they start changing rules and they stop segregating stuff like that.
Yeah, because it seems foolish to me.
It really does. You're turning away certain customers because there's one bad apple that ruins it for 100 good players. It's not the problem is not about guns and gear right now. It's about rules and people who are abusing the systems.
Yeah, like
So that's where the problem lies. If we could fix that, that would solve everybody's
if
problem.
I could fix people by
Yeah.
just choking the shit out of them, I would.
it'd solve a lot of problems.
I would just fucking choke the shit out of them, fix things real
You,
fast.
Johnny.
But yeah, I mean, $170, man. That's a tough thing to do.
I guess I grab one more and then we'll do the outro after this.
Yeah, that's.
Talon Speak. Hey, Amped, recently purchased your Piggle in pink. Good choice.
Good choice.
Has similar threads to the intake port of the TM Breacher. I was wondering if you guys could test this theory, being that I do not own a Breacher. I have a V2 Fusion engine in the IGL. Needed a reasonable amount of filing for it to fit, but I didn't have to drill out the frame. That is literally what we have discovered.
We literally just did this.
Yeah, before your Breacher question, we've literally discovered that it depends on the batch of the lower frame that you got in your Fusion engine. Half of them will fit no problem. The other halves, you have to do very, very fine dremeling to either the frame, or we have found that if you very, very slightly take the hard edges of the fitting down, if you round those just a little bit, you can slip it through.
Basically, what happened was whenever we made the Piggle, that's a custom-made fitting. Like, that fitting didn't exist until we had it made.
Yeah.
So we own the rights to that. The big deal was we asked Polar Star what size fitting will fit through this hole. They gave us an answer, and then we realized that the batch-to-batch anodization process, didn't account, when they gave us that number, they didn't account for the batch-to-batch differences. So what happens is some of them fit, some of them don't.
And it's fractions of a millimeter half the time. It's little bits of filing you need to do. If you aren't comfortable with it, we completely understand. get in contact with us if you feel comfortable sending your stuff in. We'll take care of you professionally, no problem.
Yeah. What about the breacher?
And then he's talking about the breacher. I don't.
We literally just did this too.
Yeah, Robbie just built one.
With a
Was it a Pickle or an IGL?
I don't remember what fitting it is, but it takes
Yeah.
the same fitting as one of our lines that already is in there. So he has it mated directly to the back of the mechanism for the breacher, and then he ran the line out of the body.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him when we get back.
So
That shotgun is sexy though. Whatever he made, that thing is.
yeah, it was originally
sawed off 870.
It's a sawed off full size 870,
Yeah.
not the breacher. Tall and Speak, hello again. I was looking into upgrading my poppet nozzle. My field limit is 385. I have a Promi 603. If I purchased a gold poppet and red nozzle, what would my FPS be, and how many more shots per tank on average with a 45 or a 68?
This question is so new and original.
Talon, I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. I can't give you those numbers without actually
Having
your gun, because air efficiency is really dependent on how everything's put together. So like, let's say you have any gapping or anything like that, you'll have air leaks, which means you'll have to turn your PSI up to get your gun to perform where someone else's PSI is lower. That affects your air efficiency. I can give you a rough estimate and say that a gold poppet with a tight bore and a red nozzle, normally out of a 13 cubic inch tank, the little tiny ones, a stock fusion engine gets about 700 rounds out of it. With that setup right there, you're bumping it up to about 11 or 1200 rounds. So you're roughly doubling it.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean that's typical. That's not typical at all, actually.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different. But that's just something for you to set your sights on.
Yeah.
So how many shots would you get out of your tank? I don't know, dude. You're gonna have to shoot it. I don't own a 68. And I can't air up and use a 68 at the shop because then it's a used product and I can't sell it. So there's that. So, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, you're just gonna have to test it, man. That's all on you. That's a question only you can answer with your gun. I can't answer that question for you. Sorry, bro. I don't know what it is.
There's science out there. It can be done.
It can be done.
We can't always do it for you.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do it. So I guess that's it. Episode 33. All right. Yeah, I guess we did it. We're good. Remember, ask your questions down below in the doobly-doo. If you go and beat trolls about it, it's still down there.
Found it.
You found it. At least two of you did. All right, so for reviews, we got the Mil-Spec Monkey Adapt Pack, the Hex Mags, Tippmann Round 3, Polar Star Jack,
Haley Flat Pack.
Haley Flat Pack, some other Haley products. We're also going to be doing, if we ever get around to it, the Evo.
I want to.
That
thing's awesome.
We're also going to be doing the Hydra. We have a test Hydra in right now, so we're going to be doing the Hydra here pretty quick.
Probably also the Brain Exploder.
The Brain Exploder mount. Forgot about
GoPro
that
mount.
one. Man, I like that a lot, actually. It's really fun.
Yeah, I love it.
But anyways, thanks for stopping by, guys. Remember the Coalition of the Willing. Remember, if I'm in an event and I see you do cool guy stuff, I take care of you. I give you prizes. So don't be an asshole.
Be nice to each other.
Be nice to each other. Keep spreading that. Anyways, this has been Anthony.
Matt.
Thanks for stopping by, guys. See you later.